And now, I guess, finally, we're starting, ladies and gentlemen, with this new live chat here on the CoachMC studio. Welcome, everybody. It's a great pleasure to have you guys back. Once again, this is Lorenzo from the CoachMC studio. And this is the place where we'll help you to shape unique behavior delivery. So, where we'll help you to get recognized in the audition room with some extraordinary tools that I've gathered personally throughout 30 plus years of acting experience and over 10 years of coaching experience, working on the field, working on set, working closely with my actors, with all types of beautiful clients, creative clients, corporate clients, acting clients, such as you guys out there, creative community. Let me give you a heartfelt welcome to the Coach MC studio. It's always a pleasure to be here for you guys and talking about the latest developments in entertainment industry and acting and all types of technologies and new instruments that we could potentially use to kind of impact our audience and to have, more success, more experience, more fulfillment, and more pleasure in whatever we're doing. It's not about the financial reward. It's about really putting in the great work and doing what's really important to ourselves and, impacting a community with your arts, with your talents, with your acting skills. There's no more thing that is, there is no beautiful thing that could top that. So here's Julian. Hallo Lorenzo, ich bin begeistert von deinen Tipps für mich als angehender Schauspieler. Julian is welcoming everybody and saying that he's really grateful for the tips and that they're working for him, and he's a newbie in the game and he's trying to make it. Welcome, Julian. Thank you so much for joining the show and joining the channel. I'm really, really grateful that my tips are helping you out, to put some impact and some traction and some steam behind your passion and behind your skills. So thank you so much for being here. It's gonna be a great show tonight, guys. I'm really overwhelmed with all the information that I want to give you. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible and to really give you, more importantly, like a context of what is really going on right now in the world and what type of revolution I'm talking about, because it is huge. It's going to affect all of us. It's going to impact all of our lives, and it's going to give us incredible horizons and opportunities. So really don't miss out on this double episode. We're going to have our first part today, and then on Wednesday, it's going to be part 2, because there's so much to cover. And there are different aspects that I want to talk about. There is like an aspect that what I just mentioned. It's about the context and understanding the world and the universe and the immense possibilities behind this, revolution that is going on, behind this paradigm shift, I might say. And then there is a way of really applying this and using technical skills to kind of make it in there and to be as effective as possible. So in today's episode of the Acting Mania Volume 1, I want to talk about the importance of video making and producing your own digital content. And in part 2 on Wednesday, during our next live chat session, we're going to talk about what kind of skills you need and how you can hone them, how you can practice them, and how you can put them into work, like really tangibly, right? So 2 types of messages here: one for the left brain, the more accurate, dogmatic, rule sizing part, and making up the structure and the necessary requirements that you need to study this. And part 2 is going to be the right side of the brain. It's more the power, the passion, the magic behind it, and really how you can put it into work for and applying it with your craft to really create that spark and magic for the audience. So let me welcome Rosita Macarons. Hi, Coach. So happy you're back live. Yes, I'm happy as well. I'm really excited to be with you guys. And if you haven't so far, please make sure to subscribe also to the channel. It goes a long way to support this, and it's such a great way to give us a thank you back. So thank you so much, guys. Hello, Annie Boo. Welcome back as well. Hello, it's Lorenzo. It's great to see you again. Thank you so much. Your tips and advice are always helpful and inspiring. Thank you. Thank you so much. Really, I mean it. It's always important to get this type of feedback. That's why we're doing this in the first place. So let's jump right into it, shall we? Right? Let's not waste any more time. Make sure to hit the like button though. Just make sure. Okay. So what is going on right now? We have incredible numbers that we're getting from the internet in terms of how video is being consumed right now on this planet. If you think about the second largest website on this planet is YouTube, right? Hello, everybody. And so YouTube belongs to Google, and the most hit website is Google. So these two companies, they basically are creating the foundation, from which I'm transmitting today, and billions of other users are online with me and transmitting their vision and their experience and their insights. And this has become like an incredible community, guys. And why am I telling you this? I don't, it's not to advertise YouTube per se. I just want to make sure that you understand the potential that lies behind such numbers. Because if you think about that, like according to Oberlo, there are like 2.3 billion people on YouTube. And this is an incredible number. We're talking about every fourth person on this planet is in a way connected to YouTube, is consuming content from YouTube on YouTube. And YouTube claims that every month there is like 200 million new videos that are being uploaded. And video itself has grown exponentially over the last years. It's one of the businesses and markets that really thrives. Nonetheless, there is crisis, war, pandemic going on. Video is growing and growing, and it gets implemented pretty much everywhere on the planet. You see it in LinkedIn, where you have Reels nowadays. You see it on Instagram. It took over Instagram. Now you have it on TikTok, which is immensely big. And you have it on Facebook as well. And you have YouTube. You have so many outlets out there, big outlets serving, catering videos, pretty much on every corporate level. Teaching videos, security videos, infrastructure videos about the corporate culture, and all types of videos produced inside of corporate structures, as well as for entertainment purposes. And then we have huge content that's being produced in video form for educational purposes, for schools, academies. So you see video is pretty much everywhere, and it's just growing and growing. And this is an acting channel. And I always say that acting is a skill, and you can use it in so many beautiful ways. And people sometimes they lose sight of what the potential of acting actually is, and they lose sight of their passion because they think they only can express their passion in front of the camera on the stage, which is of course beautiful and absolutely, one of the goals of doing this for sure. But there is such a great part about acting that has nothing to do with show business itself. It's always showing, of course, it's always business, hopefully, but not always, of course. There are some projects that you should do pro bono because the script is just fucking good, or you're doing it for a friend, of course. We're talking about the common sense, but usually, it's always nice to have some sort of cooperation going on and have some sort of revenue going on, and kind of, we need some money. So there is a lot of the element of the acting element that you can use in so many different ways, and you see the ramifications popping up pretty much everywhere. And that's why I want to do this masterclass with you guys, to kind of show you what kind of possibilities you have, how you can exercise them, and what it actually means is just to explore your talents just deeper, and just go deeper with your passion, and really kind of solidify that by accumulating also knowledge that is not always in the path of an actor. Sometimes as an actor, when we're doing some background research on our character, we're accumulating knowledge that has nothing to do with our private personal life, right? That's something that we wouldn't we wouldn't be interested in normally. Sometimes that happens, right? And the same thing might be true for this little masterclass I'm giving, because people might think, all right, this is a lot of extra work already to my acting work, already to my audition work, already to keeping me alive work. And I don't know if that is really possible or not. But it's like always, when you're inserting something new in an old system, there is always a phase where you need that transition. And that transition, of course, is an investment in energy and everything else. But once you've implemented it, it just becomes a habit, and then it's just it's just part of your daily routine pretty much, and you won't even think about it after a couple of months. So it's just that initial obstacle that you just have to take and understand what kind of challenges will lie ahead of you acting in a community, and also what kind of beautiful opportunities. Because like I said, in today's time, where everything is kind of transmitted, where you see knowledge, where you see entertainment consumed, right? It's just in the palm of our hands, and we're just traveling around with our smart devices. We're always connected. We always consume content. We always consume video. And so we need, we need that market to be fed with great content, and whoever feeds that market, that requirement, whoever feeds that thirst, whoever feeds that a huge culture that is in search for information, that is in search for new skills, that is in search for insights, that is in search for soulmates, for all that, whoever does that and probably also solves some, problems here and there and gives them solutions to acquire some skills more easily and faster, and, have some insight already, that in order to avoid some bad mistakes, whoever caters that to a market will find a stream of income. So you see where I'm heading with this. It means, accumulating knowledge that maybe is outside of your initial sphere of interest to become better in the process, become more solidified with your acting abilities, with your skills, with your communicational skills, with your presentational skills, with the way where you're communicating with your audience, with your environment. And while you're getting better and you're learning new skills, you're also creating a potential stream, a potential channel where income can, flow into your portfolio. So it's a win-win situation once you've embraced this new concept, this new revolution that is going on right now. And if you don't take part of this, it's always interesting to me that people are very passionate about their acting. They are very passionate about art. They're very passionate about movies. But when it comes down to really putting the work right into it and really understanding that times change, they shift, changes occur on a constant base. We can't have that type of, mindset or attitude to say, what, I'm just doing it my way or the highway. There is no other way. I mean, we sometimes have to look a little bit over the horizon. I have to understand other concepts and take in some other information, because if we, create that type of very narrow-minded culture for ourselves, it's very hard to kind of, get in touch with, other sphere of interest, with other great connections. And you never know what a project really kind of keeps for you, how the connection of one project will lead you to another even better project, and that project will lead you to even better and greater project, right? So you never know what kind of paths are ahead of you. So embracing instead of excluding gives you the possibility to explore yourself while you're doing something that is maybe unusual or maybe new. And what I'm talking about is really understanding that video is going to stay, and the digital content community is growing by the hour. So we are present on Instagram, we are present on Facebook, we are present on LinkedIn with our faces, with our communication. We talk through TikTok, and we communicate through all these various social networks like Reddit and Apple. So we are already there. We are already doing the work. Now it's just time to put it into a video and send it out there, gain followers, gain more networks, and communicate and interact with them, and create possibilities for yourself. As an actor, you don't have to just focus on being booked. As an actor, you can focus on trying to use that acting skill in as many ways as you want, basically, but just exercising many different things with your acting skill, and maybe also having success that comes from other sources where you have initially started to think like, all right, this is nice, I'm getting some positive feedback, not only from my acting community, I'm getting feedback from corporate communities or from other cultures, and all of a sudden I can use this initial cultures and interact with all types of different interesting projects that where I never thought I could go into initially. And this is the beauty of art. So open yourself up to all the possibilities. That's probably what I'm trying to say here. Think about this. In this digital world, we're not even actors anymore. We are digital content producers. By the hour, we're producing digital content, and it's just growing. So instead of just producing it by the hour and just randomly trying to gain some likes, try to understand that maybe you have a message that is important and needs to be heard. Maybe something inside of you is very poetic. Maybe you want to share some of that poetry with other people. You want to inspire them. And if you put some consistency behind that, maybe, you know, that can lead to another profession, to some other projects, or just simply to the, you know, open up like the door to, you know, to a world where you can feel like appreciated and safe by, you know, sharing what's most intimate to you, which is already like a big gain and something that is truly like, I think very powerful, you know, to discover such fields of interest for oneself. And I think that's also a very useful way of, you know, kind of interacting with this digital world. You know, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be entertained and that you shouldn't like consume something that really makes you laugh or that interests you, but, you know, let's see it as a cake. If you are online for a couple of hours every day, maybe you take one slice out of that context, out of that equation, and that one slice is 1 hour where you put useful work right behind your creativity and your thinking and your persona, and you try to create consistent content for a certain niche, right, where you basically just start to interact with people that think pretty much the same like you, or are interested in what you have to say, or maybe have even a controversy with you going on because they think differently, but they start nonetheless interacting with you. So that already gives you a forum. So once you've understood that the context is everything, and that the skill that you have already can be used in so many different ways, and with consistency you create a habit that will involve a culture, and that becomes a community, and all of a sudden you have income streams, you have ways and means of expressing yourself that you can't find in other places, and you have an occupation going on that is part of a regulatory process where you can hone your skills and get better with your communication, with your acting, with everything that you need to impact also the lens and the audience when you're standing on stage, right? Or when you get out and you see yourself, you know, hanging up there on that billboard. Let me just check a few comments here. So this summer, Rosita Macarones writes, working on this one of, you know, this summer working on this one is one of my goals. This masterclass is perfect for me right now. Really? Thank you so much. I mean, yeah, it's really important to understand what kind of opportunities we have. And if you look at the, you know, the traditional media outlets out there, they will not tell you that YouTube has an incredible potential, that you can upload incredible videos, that they will, pretty much you can, upload videos in 4K and 8K. The speed is incredible, and this is all for free, and you can express yourself and just try to explore your talents. Nobody will tell you that these websites and all the affiliate links and all the referrals, there is so much ad built in that at a certain point you can really start to make some revenue. They won't tell you this, right? Because they don't want you to to be successful, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe it's for them, they just underestimate the value and the potential behind this. But I really doubt that, because like I said, YouTube right now is like the second largest website on this planet, and it will grow, right? And you can grow with it, take a chance. Do you suggest long video or short video with social media? I mean, right now the trend is going into the short video direction, but I think also that long videos with great content, if you really have something to say that is important, if you really solve somebody's problem, if you have great entertainment going on that is really catchy and really vibey, I mean, long content is great as well. If you really if you put quality content out there, I think people will always appreciate. And that's also the challenge. You have to get better with this. But let's talk about what does it mean to be a digital, content creator, because that's what we are. And if we see ourselves not only as, private people interacting with social media, right? I'm just using it for my dopamine kick. I just get some nice entertainment out of it, or just, play some nice poetry in there, right? That's nice. But how can that be transformed into a business per se? It's the mindset shift that I'm talking about. It's this revolution that is happening right now, because people are realizing, wait a second, if I'm a digital content producer and there is a company that kind of gives me everything for free, the only thing that I need to do is like produce this content and put it online. And basically at a certain point, I will generate revenue, connections, and working possibilities and all that. Is that true? And yes, that's true. If you don't see yourself as the consumer, but instead you see yourself as the producer who runs maybe a team, maybe a group, maybe a company, and says, you know what, I'm going to start as a company to produce content as well and put that online. I mean, online, because that means that I'm running two companies now. while I'm doing the work, I can record this work, I can give it a context and put it online, and all of a sudden I've created 2 streams of income. Simple as that. So do you think, Aniboo asks, I should create a social media account for my carnival speech hobby, or the poems and stories are right? Yeah, definitely, absolutely. Create niche content channels where people can really kind of hone their passions as well. You know, I'm not saying the smaller the niche, the better, but a small niche with a lot of, you know, kind of invested people. You know, if you have like a small community that is really invested in a traditional niche and something that is like folklore or tradition of a certain region, in a certain region, or something that, you know, includes like a type of community or belief system, that usually will lead to, you know, big success as well, because usually these people, they are very invested, they very passionate about these traditions, and they will follow that because there is somebody out there representing them. You know, it's a small community, and if they feel represented, it's just a way of, you know, creating that connection. That's beautiful. By all means, yeah, you should do it. That's what I'm suggesting with this video. Basically, you guys should embrace this paradigm shift in your head to understand that now, with what is going on with video, we have, you know, we have this is like a technological industrial revolution as well. We've shifted, we are shifting into a new age of communication, of presenting ourselves, of digital content creation. Everything is becoming more and more digitalized, tokenized. We're shifting into a new you know, internet world, and the crypto universe and everything. It's becoming very exciting, the meta universe and all these new fields and all these new worlds that are, you know, popping up. And video is going to be a part of that. Our acting skills will be a part of that. Our creativity will be a part of that if we want, right? Not just consuming, but producing. So how can we produce? Well, we have a phone, and we know what days are coming up, right? We have 7 days. We have a couple of days where we can post something useful. You know, when the week starts, there is something to say. When the week ends, there is something to say. We can reflect upon our work. We can start solving problems for other people. We can start, you know, just showing our art. And that should happen in the context of what is going on around us. Like we have the, you know, if you look at the year, you have 12 months. You have a perfect section already laying ahead of you. Like what is happening in spring? People are excited. You know, nature is coming back. You know, it's getting warmer. Summer. There is this, you know, immersing yourself into the sun, into the warmth. You know, there is vacation going on. We have autumn. It's getting colder. We have reflections about the year, and then it's winter. We have to kind of get together and keep ourselves warm. And then again, like there is rebirth. There's so much to talk about, so much to show. So if you're an actor and you're not getting jobs or you're not getting booked, start your own channel. You know, talk about your struggle, start instructing other actors, start getting better with the camera, put some monologues out there, create a community where people post their monologues, and let's have some critique sessions, Zoom sessions, like let's contact some coaches, let's get exposure, right? Let's grow. If you got a very interesting hobby, you know, share that hobby and talk about it and include your acting skills in it. You know, try to come up with something that is unique, and you will find so many interesting kind of fields where you can put your passion, your steam that you have. If you're not really booking anything, or if you have a dry period of, or if you're moving, or if, you know, other things can happen where you're just not really working on set, it doesn't mean that you're not an actor anymore, right? So when you are embracing a concept where you say, wait a second, besides being an actor, I'm also a digital content producer. So if I'm a producer for myself and I can produce content that gets appreciated by the public and by my audience, and this grows, and also my, you know, my technical skills will grow, or maybe there is a team behind me and already we are a nice group, maybe we can use that service and, you know, go to someone else who needs that service, right? Who needs a self tape, who needs a show reel, who needs a monologue to be taped, who needs, you know, all types of taping services, editing services. So all of a sudden you're not alone anymore. You're directing a group, or you're part of a culture, of a community, of a company that works to help other creators to fulfill their dreams as well. And all of a sudden, this is not singularity anymore. This is, you know, this is the collective, the community going on. And this helps you psychologically immensely. I mean, immensely, because it's it's always hard. The struggle will always be hard, whether you're solving problems for a group or whether you're solving problems just for yourself on your own. And there are certain types of people who just like to be alone, right? Who just like, to be some, just a bit more for themselves, right? They don't enjoy company necessarily that much. And there are other people who love company, right? Who need a bunch of people around them who kind of drain from that. And that is all right as well. So you have to find your niche and your way of executing this. But once you've understood this, that video is such an enormous opportunity. Think about any business of the past. Has any market grown 15% in the last couple of years? Because video did. It's pretty much implemented everywhere. And they all need, all these companies, all these outlets, all these corporate structures, they need actors. Think about planes, think about security videos, think about everywhere where you see screens, advertisement. It's just huge. So use this power and put yourself out there and make yourself heard and use your passion. And what is your profession, and what kind of problems are you solving during when you're executing your profession? Think about how of all these little solutions you came up with, can you reverse engineer them and explain them to an audience so they can use them by themselves to kind of implement them for their work, for their problems, and try to find other solutions? If you can, that's a great way of kind of using what you've already accumulated to create a new channel of income, to have a passion going on, and to really kind of use the time to really make something for yourself, and not just consuming things and waiting for something to happen. What are the things that are people mostly interested in everything that is new. Everything that is new is exciting. It's unique. It's worth exploring, right? It makes people curious. Everything that is new kind of delivers something like a taste that is, it's just out of the norm, right? Once we've consumed it a lot and there is mass adoption, then it's already gone. Then we know the flavor already. But when it's really new, the flavor is exciting. And that's what we want to deliver. We want to deliver something new. So think about something unique in your system. What is unique about you? Is your singing maybe unique? Is the way you dance maybe unique? Is the way you cook unique? Is the way you kind of keep track of your household unique? Do you have a special hobby that you do besides your profession? Is there something about that worth telling? Is something new and exciting incorporated in that, right, in terms of what you've discovered through the exploration of that? So everything that is unique kind of interests people. Everything that is new is appealing to the audience. Everything that is crisp and full of novelty is an attraction. It kind of pulls people in. And definitely, if you think about, acting is not something new, but each and every one of us, right? We interpret acting and the arts in a different way. It's always slightly different. So there are millions of ways of approaching a line, of saying something, of expressing something. And the same is true for our talents. So it's always about kind of rebranding something and putting it into a new context to make it appealing. Like if you think about Starbucks, right? There is nothing new about coffee, but the way they've enclosed coffee and what type of context they place this coffee, it makes Starbucks different, right? And so it kind of felt new to people to have coffee, not only to be something that they consume to get, pumped up for the next couple of hours, but it's also a status symbol, right? Because the logo, the brand, it represents something. So it's not what they're doing, it's how they're doing it. And so acting, it hasn't really changed, but the way you interpret it, that makes it unique, and that makes it, new and exciting to people. So it's not what you do, it's how you do it. It's how you say the things. You can say very mundane and banal and common sense things in a very crazy place. Imagine you give out cooking tips, right, on top of a skyscraper when you're just literally hanging from the antenna up there, like, I don't know, 300 meters up there in the sky. Wouldn't that be completely crazy and unusual? It's not what you're saying, but it's just how you're saying it. It makes this product unique. Nobody does that, right? So I'm not suggesting you should climb up a skyscraper, right, and tell about your newest recipes. By all means, you know, I'm not saying that, but hey, it would definitely be, you know, something quite unique and quite incredible to watch if that video would pop up, right? So you have a year in front of you where you can produce content. You have something already mapped out, and you know exactly this year will happen. January, February, March, this will happen, right? It will follow. So you have already a time frame where you can place some ideas into these boxes and think about what can I add to this, right? What can I say? What can I make to make this worthwhile? This year that lies ahead of us, right? It will never stop. It doesn't matter where you start. You should start before you're ready, like Sean Cannon always says, and that's by all means true. It doesn't matter. So come from there. What is happening in the next 12 months in your company, right? Because now you're a digital content producer, you run a channel, you are producing. So get a group together, think about things that are interesting, that are exciting, that are new, that are crisp, that are full of novelty, that really, you know, solve a problem, that you know, deliver a solution, or that are super entertaining, and map out a plan, you know, set up a schedule, and think about like really implementing that schedule and really trying to fulfill that promise with yourself that now you're producing. You talk about your ambience, you're talking about your world, you're talking about your environment, you're talking about what you're doing, your procedures, you reflect upon your skills and all that, and all of a sudden you will see, if you do this with persistence, you know, your profession will also gain with that. So what is interesting about the concept of YouTube? You see, if you imagine that you got YouTube and you insert this in a picture where you have a pyramid, and you think of the top stone, right? The you know, the summit point of the pyramid, the, you know, the pinnacle of this whole building, right? This is your YouTube video. And now, once you've created that original video about your passion, about your experience, about any information you want to give out, about all these things we just discussed, you have that original code, that pinnacle stone, that summit point. And now you can break this initial point down into little beautiful chunks and use them for your social media accounts, where you can extract little short videos from your longer content and place them into Instagram and put them on TikTok and let them work on LinkedIn, where you refer to your business, where you talk about your passions and all that. And all of a sudden you realize, doing it this way as a company, I would just need to create an original content, and I then make sure that I can edit this content down in some fracturized content, just kind of smash it and make it smaller, micro content, short videos, story content, all that type of content. And that initial video now is giving birth to many other videos, right? To, let's say, a half a dozen of other videos, micro content. And all this will, of course, give traction to your social media accounts, because if you're posting on a consistent basis, even if it's just to refer to your original source video, that already means that you get more and more traffic. And if you keep this system alive for a consistent period of time, you will see that your channel will grow, your audience will grow, and it's not anymore about, well, I have to run a channel. It's about really just creating one video, breaking this video down, and creating promotion around that video. And that, as a matter of fact, is what a production company does. On a very small level, you're becoming a production company. And if you do this, you know, over an extended period of time, people will notice, and you can work with the skill. You can produce videos for other people. Like I said, you know, in the beginning, you can start to advertise your business. And now you're turning your passion with, you know, persistence into profit by solving problems. And this is the 4P graphic, right? You have these 4 Ps. And if they all intersect, then your passion with your, you know, consistency by using your skills can be turned into a business, which means that you've created a second stream of income while you're still doing, you know, what you love. but you're doing it in the same group, in the same element. You don't need to start a side hustle, a side business, and do something completely else that has nothing to do with entertainment industry, where you would just distract yourself and lose maybe traction, energy, and focus. You're still in the business, but now you're just creating a subsidiary from that initial momentum of yours, and you start to grow with that. And you will attract customers, you will attract networks, you will create, a name for yourself. You start, growing a reputation, you gain credits. It's just a worthwhile business. And it all starts with this, with a cell phone and a good plan, what you should create during the year. Again, it's your passion, it's your persistence that creates the profit, because you're solving problems for peace, intersecting with each other. Okay? It's not what you do, it's how you wrap it up, how you do it, and how you believe in it, how much you believe in it, and how much you use your time to really do it. Because, guys, girls, here, like, we're 35 minutes into the show, and there are still people on this channel, still listening, still interacting. Why is that? Why are we taking our time to listen to something like this, to this masterclass of acting mania and why video is important? Because we're curious, because we feel the need of, doing other things, because there's so much energy inside of us and so much passion that doesn't really, we can't find our echo in the system. So we need to create an ecosystem where we kind of find our echo, right? The voice is bouncing back. Now, all of a sudden, there is volume and we will be heard. And there is no time to waste. I mean, we can consume content as much as we want, but always take a slice of that cake out of the day and produce something for yourself and for the community. And, just kind of have a nice balanced way of doing that. And you will find so many great things. Plus, I guess it's important in a way to understand what your values are, because if you narrow down your experience only to the self-taping process and the workshops and just waiting for calls, and you're just grinding out there and having the side hustle that has nothing to do with acting and it's like a side job, and you're not really getting that type of feedback that you need, how can you create the values for yourselves? For yourself. I mean, values, of course, there are some more principles, things that we really believe, but values in terms of like, what am I really worth, and how good is this actually? How much is it really worth, right? How much does it impact people? You can only find this out by interacting with the people. And if you close yourself down in how you want to invest your talents just to that little window of opportunity, you miss out on big potential, on big impact, on big feedback that you could potentially get, on very interesting insights and infos and corrections that you could get to kind of, level up your value and to understand your worth, your self-worth, and to have more and more reflection about what your talent is really capable of, what you are really capable of. So don't waste time. Put this into work and understand what incredible opportunity lies ahead of us, guys. I mean, there is an incredible market that just waits for your content, basically. It's so huge in all in all levels, and video gets implemented in so many crazy ways. Like we need videos to have an instruction. We need videos to learn something about ourselves, to learn a new skill, to set up a computer. We need videos to kind of doing some sort of repairing it. We need videos on so many levels, and it's just the way of how we present them that's interesting. As soon as you can get something that is really purpose driven into a package that is wrapped up with interesting, funny and crisp entertainment, once you've kind of morph these things together and you've merged them together, you have a great product, because people will listen to something that is delivered in a crisp and nice way. By the way, check out the COACHMC studio, here in this place, on this channel. You can learn a lot of beautiful things on how to kind of spice up your delivery, how to become a more impactful actor and presenter and communicator. And acting is part of that video revolution. The better you act is, the better your videos will be, the more followers, culture, and so on you will create for yourself. So acting is a great part of that. I'm not just saying this because, well, there is a market, there is a business, there's a lot of opportunities going on. No, I'm saying that since we are consuming so much video, we get more and more saturated with video, with information. That means that we get more and more accustomed to great quality. So the quality needs to be better and better and better. This is a great challenge for us to become better, because the better the acting is, the better the video will become, and the more followers and more audience you will generate for yourself. Because people nowadays, they are spoiled. Like 10 years ago when video started its triumph march into the digital world, into internet and everything, 10 years ago, video production was very low, camera techniques and technology was not as developed as it is today. Nowadays you see everything. We have great lights on a low budget. Everybody can have like a great camera setup for under 1K dollars. So it's affordable, it's possible, and so more and more content is being produced. But on the other hand, of course, the requirements are getting harder and harder because people are already used to great content. So that means that in the future, quality will win. So whether it's short-term videos or long-term videos, it's all about the culture, the quality, and the novelty that you put in. And this is great because you have to challenge yourself to become better and better in the process to really produce something that is unique. And with that, my dear acting community, I rather close up this live chat and this show tonight, because in the second part on Wednesday, that's going to be slightly longer than this one, we're going to discuss the skills that you need. Today we just kind of set up the whole thing, the whole context, understand what the opportunities are and what kind of framework you can use to kind of navigate initially through this digital revolution. And on Wednesday we're going to discuss how we do that, how we impact the camera, how can we fastly produce great content, how can we get to the core, to our passions, how can we really impact the camera, how can we do all this, what is really necessary to do that in an initial stage and also at a later stage as well, and how can we make this revolution happen also with our talents and what we need to do exactly that. And so I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to next Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining the show tonight. If you haven't so far, this is a quick and nice and humble reminder to hit that subscribe button. Make sure also to activate the bell so you get notified every time we grind out a new video like this one, like a live chat or an acting tips video or like a meditation video that you definitely should check out. Check out our meditation playlist. It's always great to calm yourself down, have like a nice yoga round in the morning, like a nice routine, and then a quick meditation. And then you can really start your day and really kickstart your day and impact the audience and have great success because you feel that inner force really waking up. So make sure to check out our meditation playlist. Also follow me on Instagram where it's the COACHMC. There's some art stuff going on, some events going on, of course, some insider tips and some acting tips as well. So make sure to hit me up there as well and send me a DM with all of your questions, your remarks. Leave some comments in the comment section below. Hit that thumbs up button as well. It goes such a long way to really support the channel. So the algorithm knows what you value, and if you like the content value proposition of this video, make sure to show the algorithm that you did. And by all means, if you want to work on an exquisite project, right, of an extraordinary project, that's what I wanted to say, and there is like a self-tape going on, a presentation going on, there's a negotiation going on, and you want to tackle that challenge in the best way possible, right? Just contact me through my website. It's the COACHMC.studio. Send me a little message and let's talk about it. We will find out if we're a great match for each other. Maybe there is a new adventure coming up in our creative lives. So I'm really, really proud we did this today. It was so important. Thank you so much for joining the channel. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. See you on Wednesday with the second part of the Acting Mania. Now you're ready to perform.